welcome to our Sunday Soothe practice. This practice is going to be a very gentle practice just to get you kind of easing into your Sunday morning, gently awakening, and quite passive stretches. So in our yoga classes there can be more active, more kind of enlivening, energizing practices. This practice is really designed to work your deep connective tissues and to start to help you really relax and de-stress. So when you're ready, we're going to start standing today. If you have a wall or a sofa handy, that would be very helpful. It's not essential, but it will help make your practice a little bit more accessible. You can always use another piece of furniture, whatever you've got available. So we're going to start today in our mountain pose. So finding yourself with your feet in kind of shoulder distance apart, palms facing towards the front, and see if you can actually take a shoulder roll up, back and down, and allow those hands just to gently rest there. See if you can straighten up through the spine, a tiny little bend in the legs, and press into the feet. So lovely semi-active position here. And see if you can close down the eyes. So just take a moment, this feeling of stepping on your mat, stepping in, and you're at day 7, a week. Well done for making it this far in your morning yoga challenge. So as your reward, you get this lovely de-stress practice. So coming to your breath, seeing if you can just focus on your inhale and your exhale. Starting to deepen and lengthen your breath, perhaps making the exhale a little bit to the end of the breath and starting to gently encourage that inhale so it starts to get a little bit deeper and longer with every breath. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. And you might like to see if you can make your exhales, your out breath, just a little bit longer than your in breath. You're welcome to add a count to do this, or you can just do it based on what feels naturally like it's making it longer. So using that very end of the exhale before you do that gentle but yet deep inhale. And see if you can soften through the face, particularly that space between the eyebrows, the worry lines, the cheeks, the jaw. And allow that softness to spread down the back of the shoulders, the neck, down the back of the spine. Beautiful. Blinking the eyes softly open. Let's have a big inhale up towards the sky, pressing away with those hands. Take a little shimmy from side to side, just feeling into your body today. Ooh, enjoying a little side shimmy. And then as you breathe out, we're going to gently bring the arms over. And this is where you might want to have a wall handy, so you can shuffle your bum back towards the wall. And you're going to gently hinge over from the hips, just allowing yourself to come back into this dangling pose. So no effort here, and generous bend through the knee just to take the pressure off the lower spine. And you can use the wall to support your bum, so you can, the bum and the backs of the legs, so depending on how and what flexibility you're working with, wherever your body's meeting it, using that wall as a bit of support so you can play around with where those legs are. And using it as an extra tool just to help you soften into this forward fold. When you're here, option to grab opposite elbows. So coming into ragdoll position. Or you can just leave the hands to hang where they are. Perhaps taking a little nod of the head, a little shake of the head to release through the neck and spine. And take a big breath in through the nose. And sigh out through the mouth. Nice big Sunday sigh. Inhale through the nose. Sighing out through the mouth. Lovely. We'll be here for another couple of breaths. Really allowing yourself to soften through the face, through the legs. And then you're going to gently bring the feet just a little bit wider than your hips. You can bring them actually quite wide if you like. Bring the toes so they're wider than the heels. And then you can keep that bum against the wall just to support you. So you can slide it down and you're looking to find yourself in a little squat. So you can use your hands to support you to come into it. And actually the back of the wall can be a great way to help you get this nice straight spine. So see if you can find it. You might be a little bit higher than where I am at. And then perhaps bringing the hands into prayer position here. Option, you can use the hands to press those knees out towards the sides, but using that back support, or you can just allow the hands just to rest in the center. And just seeing if you can take a few breaths here. So it was quite it's not that gentle hip opening, but you're hopefully feeling a nice soft stretch in the hips. We're keeping the legs nice and soft. And see if you can work into this hip opening. So for some of us, this can be quite an uncomfortable pose, I appreciate it, but just use your breath, see if you can find some softness. We're not making this a really active practice, we're using our breath to start to relax us into it. Lovely. One more breath here, I promise we won't be here for too long. And then bringing the hands around, you're going to gently sink the bum down to the ground. Coming back to your mat, if you moved yourself away, you're going to bring your left foot into your inner thigh and bring the right foot out in front. Lovely. Perfect. So once you've found that position, you're going to gently see if you can bring your right hand down that leg and bring the left hand over. So finding yourself in a gentle side stretch. So really nice soft position, starting to feel an opening through the body, but also perhaps a stretch down the back of the extended leg. See if you perhaps want to open yourself up a little bit by bringing the shoulder out. Otherwise you can just allow yourself to hang nice and soft, nice and passive in this pose. Pausing here just for a couple more breaths. Feeling lovely stretch through the side of the body. And then breathing yourself up to center. We're going to swap around. So bring the legs around the opposite side. So bringing that left foot into the inner right thigh. And then keeping that left leg just along the floor. And I'm not worried about whether the toes are flexed in this. We're actually encouraging quite a passive stretch here, so you can allow the legs to be very relaxed. If you want to make it more active, you bring the toes towards the shins in that flexed position. When you're ready, we're going to extend the left arm down that left leg. And again, see if you can twist yourself open, bring the opposite arm across. So we're finding this gentle side stretch through the right hand side of the body, perhaps opening the chest open towards the front, or dangling ourselves down if that feels like too much effort for a Sunday morning. Pausing here. Just allowing yourself to soften through the face, maybe closing down the eyes. And seeing if you can just focus on your breath. On your next in-breath, gently rolling yourself up to center. And we're going to roll now onto our fronts. So we're going to find ourselves in our Sphinx pose, bringing the elbows underneath the shoulders and just allowing the forearms to lay flat on the earth. So with this, you have options to make it more active by pressing the tops of the feet into the earth, and you will start to activate through the back of the body. If you press into the forearms, you'll feel it in the upper body as well. Or you can keep it really nice and passive today, so that Sunday softness, just let it all kind of naturally, gravity do its work without any extra muscle activation. So your choice, active or passive. See if you can soften through the face wherever you are, and just perhaps close down the eyes and come back to the breath. So feeling a gentle stretch perhaps in the belly area, perhaps noticing that gentle curve of the spine. feeling the belly press into the floor with every breath. Just enjoying that gentle breath. And if you'd like to, you can extend the back bend now by bringing the hands out a little bit further in front and gently pressing away. So that will start to, you're bringing them a little bit wider than shoulders, I should say, and you might start to feel a bit more of back bend now. Again, keeping it gentle here, we're holding for another couple of breaths. Keeping that hip bone firmly planted on the earth. You can be active or passive with this, so option to really press the tops of the feet into the earth. Or, and again with the forearms really pressing away, or just allowing the hands to gently be, you know, at an angle that allows yourself to find this back bend. See what feels good for you. Beautiful. Rolling yourself down. Let's press the hands up and back, finding yourself in your child's pose. And my preference is always a wide-legged child's pose, so bringing the big toes together, knees mat distance apart, and rolling yourself down to the mat just to surrender. Option here is you can keep the hands outstretched in front, you can bring them by your sides, or if you'd like to, you can bring the elbows just to either side of the head and just bring the hands in a little prayer position, perhaps allowing them just to rest behind the back of the neck. You can even give yourself a little neck massage, little Sunday ease it in, that kind of top of the neck and shoulders. Few breaths here. Perhaps playing with that massage if you were doing it, working into the shoulders, the neck. You can have kind of the very base of the spine, a little rub. Seeing if you can use it to find a little bit of extra softness and soothing for this Sunday morning. Bringing the hands back into the prayer position if you went for that option with the massage. Taking another couple of deep breaths in stillness. Appreciating the stillness, perhaps the quietude of a Sunday morning. And then rolling yourself gently up and over. We're going to bring ourselves into our Shavasana corpse pose. So allowing the feet to rest out in front. Option here is if it feels you've got anything going on in the lower back, you can always bring the feet. If you've got anything going on with the lower back, you can always bring the feet to a If you've got anything going on with the lower back, you can always bring the soles of the feet to the earth and just allow the knees to rest in towards one another. But otherwise, traditional corpse pose is when we have the feet outstretched. We allow the palms to face towards the sky with the arms slightly away from the body. Closing down the eyes, seeing if you can bring the chin slightly towards your chest to lengthen through the spine. And just noticing if there's any little tweaks you want to make, perhaps a little wiggle of the hips, to try and get your spine nice and lined up, so it's all in one straight line. The feet you can just allow to splay out, to rest wherever feels comfortable, and totally kind of relax without any activation of your muscles. And when you're here, we'll just finish with a few breaths. Deep breaths into the belly. See if you can use your exhale to grow a little bit heavier. Using this focus on the breath to help you perhaps clear the mind, to find that you're able to use just focusing simply on the breath as a way to settle a busy mind. Let's take a big stretch all together. Seeing if you can stretch from the top of the fingers down to the toes, and then bring the knees into the chest. Let's give yourself a big hug. Little rock from side to side if that feels good for you. And then rolling onto your favourite side, perhaps using your arm as a cushion or pillow. You're going to gently use your hands to support yourself to come up to find a comfortable seated position. We'll close our practice by bringing our hands together in prayer pose and just bringing the hands just to that space between the eyebrows. Thanking yourself for stepping on your mat this Sunday. Finishing your whole week of morning yoga practices as part of the morning yoga habit challenge. And I really do appreciate you being here. I hope you've enjoyed the different types of practices, and hopefully it's started to help you notice the benefits perhaps for your physical health and mental health that yoga can have. If you did want to continue this journey with me, and I'm currently offering a £1 for 14-day trial of my membership, so you can actually access the rest of the 21-day challenge for just £1, and that's until the end of January 2024. So all the details, if you're watching this on YouTube, are in the box below. Thank you very much. I appreciate you being here, and I hope to see you very soon.